It's been more than 3 years since Apple released the iPhone 12, which is one of the most popular devices ever. After the launch of the iPhone 15, Apple discontinued the iPhone 12, but you can find it used everywhere. In this video, I wanted to give my thoughts about this phone and tell you if the iPhone 12 is still worth buying and using in 2024. When it comes to the build quality, the iPhone 12 still feels very premium. It is made of glass in front and back with flat aluminum frames. The back has a glossy finish, and if you get a darker color, it attracts fingerprints, but the aluminum frames stay clean all the time. The iPhone 12 is a very light and thin device. When I grab it after using other iPhones, it feels so light and refreshing. It is IP68 water and dust resistant, so it is safe to use if you want to take pictures while swimming. The iPhone 12 has a 6.1-inch OLED display that Apple calls it Retina XDR. It is a sharp display at 460 ppi, and it gets bright up to 625 nits in auto mode and up to 1200 nits for HDR content. The display of the iPhone 12 is great, it has nice colors, and for the most part it gets bright enough. I had sometimes trouble on viewing content in direct sunlight, but in other cases it was just fine. It has the old notch, which is very wide, and it cuts so much content when using it in landscape. The refresh rate on this phone is only 60 Hz, and this might be a deal breaker for many people. To be honest, 60 Hz on iPhone is smoother than 60 Hz on an Android device, so personally I don't really care that this doesn't have a Pro Motion display. The iPhone 12 runs the latest version of iOS 17 and it just flies through the software. iPhones are known to be very fast and smooth, and the 12 is no different. If you buy this phone now, you are safe for a couple of years, since Apple supports their phones for a long time. The chip that powers this device is the A14 Bionic chip, which is still good. The iPhone 12 can easily handle everyday tasks, and even heavy games are no problem either. The only thing that kind of annoys me is the RAM, since it only has 4 GB. The base storage is also very limited, since it starts at 64 GB. You have other options with more storage, but the base is just too low. The iPhone 12 has 2 cameras on the back. A main and an ultra-wide lens, and both are kept at 12 megapixels. Pictures taken during daylight are sharp with slightly vibrant colors. For many years iPhones have been taking amazing pictures in day, and the 12 is the same. It does support night mode with all the cameras, so even at low light the images come bright and detailed. The ultra-wide camera is a little bit weaker during the night, but I would call it acceptable. The front camera is also 12 megapixels, and it too takes great images during the day, but when the sky is in the background in many shots it blows it entirely. Video, on the other hand, is amazing. It can record up to 4K at 60 FPS on the front and back, and videos are just amazing. Better than the iPhone 12, I would say, are only the newer iPhones and maybe some of the Android flagships of later years. Another area where the iPhone 12 delivers is with audio. This phone has stereo speakers, and the sound they deliver is loud and clear. Newer iPhones are much better in this aspect, but for a regular user the speakers of the iPhone 12 are great. The biggest flaw with the iPhone 12 in my opinion is the battery. It doesn't have terrible battery life, but I wouldn't call it good either. It can last for the most part of the day, but be sure you will have to charge it every evening. I changed the battery of the iPhone 12, that's why it is at 100% health, but even with this capacity it doesn't last me all day. If you like to have great battery, a much safer choice would be the iPhone 13 or the 14. So what are my final thoughts about the iPhone 12, and is it still good in 2024? Well, if you can get past the weaker battery life, would say the iPhone 12 is still worth it. It has a great build quality, a good display, a fast processor, and very reliable cameras. To me the battery life has been the only weak side, but other than that, for under $400 I would say get it. If it exceeds that price, I think it isn't really worth it, since you can find the iPhone 13 for just $100 more. For me the iPhone 12 is a much better deal compared to the iPhone SE, despite the fact that the latter has a better processor. If you are an owner of the iPhone 12, let me know your experience in the comments section below. Thank you for watching, and if you did enjoy this video, a thumbs up would be appreciated.